Smart move, Toon. Yeah, a lot smarter than coming here. Because you'd be annihilated and humiliated as we rubbed in your face the fact you haven't got a bent baseline and the fact that what's been confirmed by all of your direct measurements that you've affirmed this with prove Earth's measured flat.
The midpoint between them is 524 kilometers at an angle of 53 degrees. So
proving Earth's flat with a horizontal baseline in order to give you that angle. It's another flat Earth proof. Let's see if Jaron catches this one.
Mm-hmm. So that he was able to measure this 53 degrees.
An angle off a flat baseline, proving Earth is flat.
So then this is the actual like altitude calculation, right? And he's using a flat baseline here. There's no curve between the two people involved. So this is just the picture. There's no curve between the two people involved. He's using a flat baseline here. There's no curve between the two people involved. So this is just the picture. They know their baseline is 1.11 kilometers. They cut that in half to get 0.5.
So that's 1.15 kilometers flat.
He's using a flat baseline here.
To be a triangle. So he's saying that all Earth curve, it doesn't exist in this at all then. This is definitely requiring a flat plane.
There's no curve between the two people involved.
To measure this angle, to give you the difference in the triangle. So this is a flat Earth proof.
He's using a flat baseline here.
This measurement requires Earth to be flat, Toon. I wonder if Jaron will point that out. We'll see.
That's the point. Yep, you got it. This is an evaluation and assessment after 8 years and being leaders of the flat Earth. This is the evaluation that we're gonna listen to. Yeah, this is the Reg Rhetoric Astronomy Live from 2015, 2016, way back then, about how they can tell the distance of the ISS. Folks, this is where we're at.
Well, that's elevation angle measurements, is it not?
It's not where we're at, Huey. It's where they're at.
They'll need a flat Earth for this.
At yourself, you'll find I confirmed that myself. 0.1212 is the angular size between these two tracks. That's what that number is. Then they got the distance between them. This is the Google Maps that shows the distance between their two locations, 1.11 kilometers. And then you can create a triangle with that. Now, this isn't the height yet. This.
Sound familiar? Has that base of that triangle got a curve to it?
Yeah, he tries to dismiss it based on the small distance between two numpties. You still got a triangle. You're not getting any elevation angle. That's the least of their problems. But go on.
This is the distance to the ISS of the midpoint of their base there.
Their base there. Bit of a stutter there, too. I wonder why that was.
So they cut the triangle in half. Now 0.1212 turns into 0.0606. They know their baseline is 1.11 kilometers. They cut that in half to get 0.5.
So that's 1.15 kilometers flat to be a triangle. So he's saying that all Earth curve, it doesn't exist in this at all then. This is definitely requiring a flat plane to measure this angle, to give you the difference in the triangle. So this is a flat Earth proof. This measurement requires Earth to be flat, Toon. I wonder if Jaron will point that out. We'll see.
That's the point. Yep, you got it. This is an evaluation and assessment after 8 years and being leaders of the flat Earth. This is the evaluation that we're gonna listen to.
Jaron has just been presented by McToon with something that proves unequivocally that Earth is being measured flat. That is a fact, disseminated to Jaron by McToon. Let's see if Jaron catches the fact that Toon has just proved Earth is being measured flat. We'll see.
5 kilometers. And there's all the numbers that gives use trigonometry here is what you need to use that gets the distance to the ISS from their location of 524.73 kilometers. Now that's the distance from the ISS.
Not gonna.
no spherical mathematics included as far as adding the curve between the two people or anything like that?
Correct. There's no curve between the two people involved. Also, this is just the picture, right? So
So it's spherical mathematics included as far as adding the curve between the two people or anything like that?
correct. There's no curve between the two people involved. Also, this is just the picture, right? So
So it's
So there is no curve involved between the two people. Okay.
just a
the
short distance.
Yeah, the distance they did is 1.1 kilometers. So the chord distance versus the distance, the arc distance is going to be.
No, sorry, there was no chord in your triangle. There was no arc in your triangle either, Toon. It sounds like you're saying that when measuring a triangle, they're measuring an arc or a chord. That's definitely not the case, Toon. It was a triangle. It used trig. What are you talking about? Where's this arc? There is no arc. You just confirmed to Jaren, no arc. There is no arc between these 2 points on a triangle. That's correct, Toon. That's a flat Earth, though. That requires Earth be flat. The baseline's flat for your triangle.
Very nominal. It
Hey,
won't
Nathan.
change the output much, but certainly anybody that was
He
interested.
said nominal.
Sorry, nominal, it's a triangle. There's no
And he
curve in a
did
triangle.
say,
There's not nominal.
he did say,
There's not nominal curvature in a triangle. There's no curvature in a triangle. It's a triangle. And in order to do this, Earth is required to be measured flat.
Do a different, right? This Google Maps uses the Haversine formula, so this is definitely the curve, and so somebody could do a chord distance if they wanted to.
Haversine
Sorry,
formula?
sorry,
That's
someone could do a.
fire.
Sorry, he said someone could do a chord distance, and then he brought up a picture of a triangle. Again, I wonder if Jaren will catch this. No, there is no chord in your diagram, Toon. It sounds like you're telling your audience that you like to be right, and you like to tell your wife how right you are. But you've just told people there's a chord in this triangle. There is not, Toon. Now, obviously, given your disclaimer about how you like to be so correct, I'll expect you to make this correction unless Jaren forces you to make it in the next 25 seconds. We'll see.
So
Pardon me, Nathan, real quick. I wanted to ask a question regarding the 500 plus kilometers and him and Miktum admitting that there was no curvature or spherical baseline geometry in it. That would be the baseline of the triangle or the angle that he's talking about. That's 500 plus kilometers, right? From point one
No.
person to the other.
No,
No,
he's talking
it's
about the
not.
height of the ISS in that regard. He's talking
Oh,
about
height.
a
Okay,
couple of
okay. All right,
kilometres
thank you.
in
All right.
regards to the height
Right.
along the ground, their distance along the ground. But regardless of the distance, it's not quantitative in terms of the chord he's describing. Right? He's talking about an angle that's measured to the moon. Okay, so that's two straight lines then. But there's a chord involved. Sorry, which one of these lines would stop it being an angle if it were a chord? Because it wouldn't be an angle anymore. There is no chord. Toon is a liar.
Okay.
it's going to be buried 4 digits deep.
Can you bring back the image of both them crossing the moon for me? I just wanted to see, did it look like a angular size difference there? Quite a big one from the one on the right versus left?
The angular size of yes,
So Jaren's missed this entirely. Toon has just proved that Earth is measured flat. Focus from Jaren, angular size difference in respect to the moon that's having an angle measured off a flat Earth. I don't really understand why this would be the focus, but it is.
so this was 2 different cameras.
At 2 different locations along a flat baseline to give you a triangle and angles for both of them. Both of them required and necessitated Earth to be flat for them to be taking angle measurements, and Earth was proved to be flat by these measurements. What's that, Jaren? Do these angular sizes look different?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if one of them is almost half the size of the craft itself, how could you compare pixels?
Who gives a shit? He just measured an angle off of Earth proven to be flat with the measurement, Jaren.
And compare distances? I don't understand
Oh,
why the moon.
that-
Distances along a flat Earth, Jaren.
I don't think that they're drastically different in size, but it's a good point.
Good point, because it doesn't focus on this triangle not having a chord, and it wouldn't being an angle if it was, and the fact that Earth would be measured flat to get an angle from it. along the flat baseline they're both sharing to get angles to the moon. That requires Earth to be measured flat. What's that, your ham-handed chord line? No, Toon. No, do you not know what a triangle is? Do you know what an angle is, Toon? You understand that they're standing on the baseline they're getting the angle from? That would be a flat Earth proof offered by Toon. What an amazing missed opportunity.
No, and I'm
just missing the fact that Toon's proved Earth's measured flat, Jaren. That's what you're just doing, Sunshine.
Didn't he bring up before about concessions and how he doesn't get them?
Yeah, it's because he doesn't know how to.
The problem is that when he hears them, he doesn't know that that's what he's hearing.
Yeah, he doesn't realise when he's hearing them. He's just heard a concession that Earth's been measured flat. You got your concession, Jaren. It was heard loud and clear by us. What's that? The people who go to universities, they're just wasting their time because they haven't got the mental faculties of you who hasn't. You just had your concession you moaned about people not getting, Jaren. You just didn't highlight it to your audience. Yeah? All these people giving you money? Yeah? You robbed them. Every last one of them. Toon has just proven Earth's measured flat, Jaren. Totally missed opportunity. A concession.
trying to think if
I thought
it's
it didn't
that.
get consent.
It does. They just get, just blow by in the breeze.
Simple, but that's something I'd be willing to do. Is it help us to have a larger baseline? I know we need the ISS to cross the moon for both people.
Yeah, and as you get farther away, then you're going to get a smaller stripe across the moon, because it'll be closer to the edges of the moon.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, it can increase precision a bit.
So what he's just asked about is the baseline. Jaren has just asked, and Tuna's just said that if you increase the length of the baseline, it increases the precision. So, given that the baseline is flat and must be so for it to be an angle, you're saying the longer you move along a flat plane, the more accurate this measurement becomes, Toon.
And you're not taking the distance to the moon you just are taking the fact that it's a certain angular size.
Yeah, it's 0.52 degrees. Now, and you can measure it yourself, and Reds makes a point in the video that Astronomy Live shows in a different video how to measure the angular size of the moon. So there's techniques to do that. You can look it up. If somebody didn't trust this number, they can confirm it themselves as well.
Okay.
And like I said, Astronomy Live did that, but didn't want to get into it for this particular.
It's using a triangle, Toon. It's got a flat baseline, Toon. It's more accurate the longer and flatter that triangle baseline is, according to you. So if this was a really long, flat baseline with absolutely no curvature whatsoever, it couldn't be an angle if it was, then it would be more accurate. Great. Flat Earth proof, Toon.
We'll check into that and see if I can replicate that.
All right. Let me. So the distance from there, and it's from the midpoint between them, is 524 kilometers. So then you need to get the height of it. So this is off of the telescope that Astronomy Live was using. It was at an angle of 53 degrees. So
proving Earth's flat with a horizontal baseline in order to give you that angle. It's another flat Earth proof. Let's see if Jaren catches this one.
He turned off the tracker, the mount, as soon as the ISS passed. So it stopped moving the telescope, so that he was able to measure this 53 degrees.
An angle off a flat baseline, proving Earth is flat.
So then this is the actual altitude calculation, right? And he's using a flat baseline here. Now he does also do it with a curved baseline.
It wouldn't be an angle, Toon. Why would he do it with both when one is an angle and one isn't? See, that sounds like a lie. You can't get an angle from a curve, Toon. So by saying he did it with a curve angle, there's no such beast, Toon. You're lying again. Shit.
Altitude calculation, right? And he's using a flat baseline here.
Let's just hear that again.
Altitude calculation, right? And he's using a flat baseline here.
So he's proving Earth is flat by measuring Earth flat. We all clear?
He's also trying to measure the altitude of a celestial object, which you're not going to get that. That's absurdity.
Now he does also do it with a curved baseline.
There's no such beast.
But
Maybe,
if he did-
Toon, what I would expect you to do now is show me a curved baseline. We've been asking for this for over 2 years. So given that we've been asking for curved baselines and the elevation angle thereof for 2 years, why is it that you're presenting this to Jaren? Is Jaren just an easier target to present curved baselines? I'm going to need to
Yep.
see that. Toon. Now I'm going to trim this out, put it out as a challenge. You've told Jaren and his audience that you can measure curved baselines. I'm going to need to see that, Toon.
And so you can
And
do
Nathan-
it with both of them, and it's going to make a difference of
You can do it with both of them. Okay, well, we're definitely assured that we can do it with a flat baseline. That's what an angle is. So we'll just ignore that one. I'm more concerned with the other one you say we can do it with. That would be angle from a curve. You're going to need to show us that, Toon. We're going to need to see an angle coming from a curved baseline. Yeah, I'm going to expect this from you.
Nathan, if I could
Uh-huh.
say real quick, I know it's beating a dead horse, but like you said, the reason why I brought it to Jaren, because Toon is aware that there's only two conclusions to come with Jaren for why he didn't catch this and why he brought it to him. Jaren is a compromised, incoherent flat earther, therefore he's not really a flat earther in the realm of where you guys are, because like Blind Spot said, if you had never been here with FED and just been out there and watched this and had no idea that it's been established, substantiated, and irrefutably proven that such is a flat line measurement,
Yeah,
you would
that's
fa-
right.
you would
Yeah,
fall.
let me just reiterate that.
Fall for that.
Yes, that's correct. Just so you know, Jaren, the reason Toon agreed to do this with you is because you're an easy target. Ignorant. He knew he could assert to you, as he has just done, that you can get an angle from a curved line, because he's reiterated it twice. To you. Now, you could be damn sure he'd be held to account here if he did that, because he can't do that. This will be trimmed out where you failed to highlight it, and we won't assume, maybe you do in the next couple of minutes.
4 digits deep in the calculation, but you certainly can compare the two to see if it makes a difference that matters.
A difference in having a curve form an angle? It won't.
And
Even
I've
though
looked at
before
it.
that he got the concession. He was the one that was complaining about concessions before. So when McToon told him he measured a flat baseline, why did he not point out that concession? Because where
I
would you
think-
get a flat baseline from a globe?
Absolutely.
I think it's because he might not be smart enough to recognize the concession.
No, that's why he was picked by Toon to do this, so that he could make his assertion that a curved baseline's definitely possible known to a wider audience. Not the audience that's contested that frequently, yeah? I believe I've asked Toon about how he got an elevation angle measurement from a curved baseline for his sextant challenge. I can't remember the exact number. I think it's 87 times, Jaren. Were you aware that Nathan Oakley had asked McToon about this very point he's put to you 87 times? Maybe you were unaware of that, Jaren, but that's why he's in front of you. Yeah? Because you're ignorant. And he can put this to you easily. And you won't know any better. You certainly won't point out that it proves a flat earth, or ask him to prove elevation angle measurements can be taken from a curved line when curved lines don't give you angles. That requires straight lines. But he's there saying it in spite of me asking him 87 times how he'll get an elevation angle measurement for a curved baseline for his sextant challenge. Maybe you were unaware of that, Jaren. Not maybe, definitely.
It does not, but I don't have those numbers in here. Anyway, so we have the distance to it, we have the angle to it, and so
Off a flat earth. You don't have an angle from your curvy baseline, my friend. You have an angle. That's 2 straight lines meeting at a vertex. So you've got an angle. That means you have a flat earth.
This is just, again, trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA. This
Just trigonometry that requires a flat baseline. That's a flat Earth that you're measuring.
gives you the altitude when you take
That'd be an elevation angle measurement.
524 kilometers times the sine of 53 degrees.
Degrees that you can only get off a flat Earth
Solve for the opposite side there.
of a triangle that's got a flat baseline. So you are solving for the height. Ah, that's interesting. So you're applying trig to the height. How does this work as it reaches the horizon? Is it going to touch the horizon, reach 0 in altitude? Because I would assert to Toon, given that I understand what he's talking about, that if you use this methodology, the height would change as it approaches the horizon. So it's void. It's bunk.
And that gives,
Unless, of course, he's suggesting that the ISS repeatedly crashes into the horizon for this height measurement to be affirmable as valid. It isn't.
419 kilometers high.
What it does do is prove a flat Earth, though, because the measurement principle is that you've got a flat baseline to do it, to get the angle. You can get the angle to the ISS, but you'll need a flat Earth to do it.
So this did not use anything from trusted from somebody. This was confirmed personally. The size of the moon in angular size was the only thing related to the size of the moon used, and of course,
That's lovely for the moon, but you measured Earth flat to do it, didn't you, Toon? Yeah? When I trim this out, in demand of you providing a curved baseline for an angle, you will point out that you repeatedly did this yourself and proved how flat Earth was when you measured this flat baseline on screen now. Wonderful, Toon.
that can be done yourself as well.
You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles. How useful for proving a flat Earth.
So there you go.
There you go. I would have concurred that you've conceded Earth's measured flat. Let's see if Jaron does that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, as far as seeing both the sun transit and moon transit, something is crossing it. You know, and whether or not it would calculate out to what they said, I would expect that pretty much.
Who gives a shit, Jaron? He's just proven Earth's measured flat multiple times. Call yourself a flat earther?
I will just bring up this real quick. So in one of your videos, or I'm sorry, one of the links on your page here.
Sorry, he's just made a presentation to you, Jaron. Are you about to hand wave his flat Earth proof and move on to something non sequitur?
Please, just so I wanted to show you this. This is from your site, right? You said, thanks, Jaron. Good old Bryant Myers. Guest made this image, which is like really dumb. I found.
Sorry, this is a non sequitur fallacy. This is the second time I've had to defend Toon because of this, Jaron. First was your constant interruptions when you have got a bloody timer to prevent that happening, with me having to constantly adjust your overbearing volume. And now you've committed a non sequitur fallacy. He's just done a presentation for you about measuring Earth flat. You think you should non sequitur away from his flat Earth proof?
I only saw it. Thanks, Sharon. It's like this is what people think is funny, but I don't find the humor in it because it's me really actually going out and doing something that.
So rather than focus on the flat Earth proof he's just presented you, you're going to waffle on about something you've taken personally from his website.
People always say you don't do. Oh, why do you hide these videos? Why do you? I've never done any of that. You know, I got 2 strikes on both my channels from Bart.
So while we listen to Jaron moaning about his copyright strikes and what he doesn't do, MC Toon has proven Earth is measured flat. His entire presentation depended on Earth being flat to achieve everything he just detailed. When's that going to get focused on?
Cybrel, and I had a choice to make: either leave all my videos up and take a chance at looting.
Nobody gives a shit, Jaron. He's just proven Earth's measured flat. What's fucking wrong with you?
Losing the channel that I spent 7 years building. Or
nobody gives a shit, Jaron. Nobody cares. Yeah? What we do care about on a debate about Earth being flat or globe-shaped is that when the opponent proves it's measured flat, you at least acknowledge the demonstration of how Earth's measured flat.
Or take down all my videos, wait the 2 or whatever it ended up being, 90 days, and then start loading videos again and at least keep the channel and keep the sub count. So that's what I chose to do. But
you want an answer, Jaron? You want to know why you never get the concessions? This is why. Because you're self-absorbed. All you're interested in is your channel. What about proving Earth's flat with his last demonstration? Isn't that what this channel's about? Isn't that what this debate is about? What's the title on this debate? A structured discussion regarding Earth shape. No, this is about your channel and how it's monetized, Jaren. Because it regards Earth shape, it's measured flat. Not that that's a shape, it's an aspect. Nevertheless, that's not what you're going to talk about. You're going to segue away from Earth being measured flat, aren't you, Jaren? And onto how hard done by you are. I mean, what an outrage.
But then all I get from now people is people saying, "Oh, he deleted his ISS footage. That's dumb. Why would I ever post it? Why would I post it and then delete it? Why not just never tell you that I did it?" But again, people are they like project or something, I guess, because
you're smart. Just going to hand it to Toon. You're a clever guy. This was the right choice for you, Toon. Yeah? You present Earth's flat, doesn't even get an acknowledgement. I'd have you over my knee spanking your ass, mate. Over your flat Earth proof that you just gave my audience. Now, indirectly, thank you, Jaren, because I have taken the value out of your opponent. He didn't come and do it in front of me personally. He hasn't got the balls. He wants to moan about mute buttons that I would endure out on the circuit. Right? He can't bear that. He needs a little special place without mute buttons. Right, like with you, Jaren, where you won't even acknowledge his flat Earth proof that he's given you multiple times. You'll just moan about copyright strikes. Yeah, smart move, Toon. Yeah, a lot smarter than coming here. Because you'd be annihilated and humiliated as we rubbed in your face the fact you haven't got a bent baseline and the fact that what's been confirmed by all of your direct measurements that you've affirmed this with prove Earth's measured flat. You'd have that rubbed right in your face like I'm rubbing it in it now, Toon. Don't need you here, do I? Got people like Jaren that you are prepared to stand in front of and declare that you can have curved baselines for angles, right, Toon? Yeah, that's going to get you annihilated indirectly. By me. Not that you got the balls to do it in person, right? Blame the mute button that I endure out on the circuit, because you're a coward. But Jaren's all right, ain't he? Easy target.
He's using a flat baseline here.